Good morning, boys and girls. It's time for Mr. Doug's story time again. Yay! And today we're going to be reading the story, How the Crayons Saved the Rainbow. The author is Monica Sweeney, and the illustrator is Feronia Parker Thomas. Remember, the author writes the words, and the illustrator draws the pictures. And the reason we're looking at another crayon story is because this month we're talking about our five senses. And this week, we're talking about the sense of sight. And we see lots of colors with our eyes. So we are going to read How the Crayons Saved the Rainbow. By Monica Sweeney. The sun and the clouds were best friends. They worked together to keep the earth warm and the gardens growing. But of all the things they did together, their favorite was making rainbows so that the whole world was colorful and happy. Uh-oh. Then one day, the sun and the clouds had a big fight. Oh no. And the clouds were blocking the sun, and the sun couldn't shine through to the earth. So the sun went sizzle, sizzle, sizzle at the clouds. And the clouds went clap, bang, boom, right back. So they stopped being friends, and they were never in the sky together again. Oh, how sad. So the sun was mad because he couldn't shine down to the earth because the clouds kept blocking him. And the clouds did not like that the sun was mad, so they got mad at each other. So with the sun and the clouds far apart, it was really scorching hot on some days and damp and cold on others. It was really scorching hot. Even the flowers are wilting. And look, you can see, those are not tears. She is sweating. It's so hot. And look how damp and yucky it is on this day. Ugh. And worst of all, there were no more rainbows. Without rainbows, the flowers, streams, and even the cities started to lose their color. And soon, the earth was black and white. Oh no, they started to lose their color. But in one little town, in one little school, and in one little desk, there was one little forgotten box of crayons. And the crayons still had their colors. You can see. And the desk that the crayons were in rattled and shook and clamored and clanked. And all of a sudden, it toppled over and the box of crayons tumbled out. And the green crayon said, "Yippee!" And the orange crayon said, "Get off of me!" to the yellow crayon. And the black crayon said, I'm naked." And the red crayon said, "I'm out of here." And the blue crayon said, "Woe is me." But the purple crayon said, "Hey, where are all the colors?" The purple crayon noticed how black and white and gray everything was. So the crayons started to search for the colors. They searched marker bins and they tore through art projects. But everything as far as they could see was only black and white. And Green Crayon said, "Who made all the colors go away?" And Blue Crayon said, "This is so sad." Red Crayon said, "This is terrible." And Yellow Crayon said, "What about daffodils and butter?" And Orange Crayon said, "If oranges aren't orange, do I even exist?" Well, the crayons looked out the window, and they noticed that the sun was all the way to one side of the sky, looking angry. And they noticed that the clouds were all the way to the other side of the window, looking gloomy. And Black Crayon said, "I miss all the colors. We can't even draw rainbows together now." And Purple Crayon said, "Wait, that's it. We need to save the rainbows." So the crayons started drawing little rainbows all over town. It does look a little bit more colorful, doesn't it? But nothing happened. The sun and the clouds didn't seem to notice. They were still grumpy and angry at each other. You can see their faces. "We have to make our rainbows bigger," Violet said. Violet is kind of like the color purple. And working together, the crayons drew and scribbled. And they made the biggest, most colorful rainbow the world had ever seen. Look at the cloud and the sun. I think they've noticed something. Ever so slowly, the sun perked up, and the clouds floated in for a closer look. The sun and the clouds both peered down, admiring the giant rainbow that the crayons had drawn. Admiring means they really liked what they saw. "What bright colors," said the sun. And the cloud said, "It's incredible." And then they looked at each other with great big smiles. And the sun said to the clouds, "Remember when we used to be together all the time and make rainbows?" And the clouds nodded. And they said, "I'm sorry for going clap, bang, boom at you." And the sun said, "I'm sorry for going sizzle, sizzle, sizzle at you." "It's better being best friends," said the sun and the clouds. And so they hugged, and the sun shined brightly, and the clouds misted happy rain, and ever so slowly, rainbows reappeared near and far, turning the world colorful once again. Oh, it looks so much better. You can see it's gray here, but now, oh, finally, it's starting to get colorful again. Oh, look at that. That is a very colorful place now. Excellent. That's a great story. Oh, look at, that's silly. He's just hanging out, getting a tan, I guess. All right. So that's the story of how the crayons saved the rainbow. And like I said, the author is Monica Sweeney, and the illustrator is Feronia Parker Thomas. Thank you for listening to my story, and we will have another story shortly.